Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about a thing in my local community that is going on that maybe you care about, maybe you don't care about. I have recently moved into a town south of Wichita Falls, Texas called Archer City. It's where Larry McMurtry's from. He wrote The Lonesome Dove. Anyway, the latest and greatest thing that's been going on around here, I don't want to say the latest and greatest, but off of, I got the paper here that I'm referencing, off of Three-Way Road in Wichita Falls, I believe is what it says. He has limited information about the project, but is working to learn more. He said a data center in Wichita Falls could serve as a model, noting it is in a business park away from residential areas, blah, 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 blah. So Frank, State Representative James Frank, is addressing questions that the locals have on data centers. So I'm just going to read some quotes from Mr. Frank, the guy with two first names, and give my opinion as a citizen, as a taxpayer. Obviously we all know where this is going, what I think, what we think about data centers, But yeah, so Frank says he has limited information about the data centers, about the project, but he is working to learn more. Something tells me that James Frank doesn't do a whole lot of working. And then he says that the data center in Wichita Falls could serve as a model, noting it is in a business park away from residential areas and did not receive tax abatements. He said data centers could represent significant economic development for rural communities, but emphasized the importance of ensuring projects are a good fit. I think data centers have the potential to be, this is a quote, I think data centers have the potential to be a game-changing economic development in rural Texas, Frank said. Okay? So, this is our economic fix in rural Texas, West Texas. We're not like West Texas, this is North Central Texas, but everything west of 35, other than like other than like Abilene and Lubbock, everything west of 35 is like West Texas, basically a ghost town, some dead town that nobody, it's like a Midwestern, you know what I mean? It's like the Midwest. And so, these are super rural communities. These are like rural communities in the woods of East Texas, of the East Coast. This is like out there. These people are out there, and then we're in a town, we're in Archer City, but then it's like, this ain't no city, y'all. I'm from Dallas Fort Worth, and this is comical. This is a one-horse town. We have a cafe in town. We have two little cafes. One of them's connected to the gas station, and everybody pulls up with their horse trailer with saddled horses in the trailers, hanging out while they go in for brunch. So yeah, this fella, James Frank, District 69, is trying to smooth talk us all into a data center. Says that game-changing economic development. This is the game-changing economic development that we've all been waiting for. All the boys that, just got back from the last war, whichever one it was, they're in the oil field. Now they're being sent off to the new war. hey, this is their economic game changing. This is game changing. I've been pretty angry lately. I think everybody maybe. I was looking it up. Mercury is not in retrograde, but it goes into retrograde on my birthday this year. So that's neat. But it's like, yeah, I think probably everybody's angry, about what's going on. It's pretty frustrating to, think things are getting better. Think that things are going to get better. We voted for things to get better. And then, anyway, it's like personally, we fight our fight. We got our garden, we got our chickens, we're making money, gotta try and spend less than we earn. And yeah, coming to a town near you. We have this giant wind farm in our county already, and I know how it is. The big landowners, I talked to a fella in out west of me. He was a taxidermist, and he talked about these big wigs that would come in. They flew in from Florida onto a big game ranch, a big deer lease, and the guy that owns that land is from Utah, Mormon guy from Utah. And it's like, so the landowner doesn't live here. The people that come in to pay a bunch of money to harvest those deer that are like this land's deer, the locals, other than maybe some local commerce at like a restaurant or something on occasion, these guys mostly are just staying on site. They shoot a big deer, they fly back to Florida. All that to say, nobody involved, is a local, and I'm from Texas. And so even though I'm from the big city of Texas, I still think like, yo, these people are being stiffed, So what's the deal with these wind farms? Is the guy that owns all the land that's getting paid a bunch of my money to ruin the landscape with these dystopian windmills, turbines. Like a windmill is a windmill. These are turbines, haul them off, dog. Haul them off. They're funny, and I'm serious. I'm gonna haul them off. I'm hauling them off. And that's like my life's mission, is to get rid of all these windmills, these turbines. Anyway, so the latest and greatest thing that we're dealing with out here in the rural community where they think they can just continue to put their boot, I don't know, that we're gonna kiss the boot, that we're bootlickers. Nah, I don't think so. I think James Frank, the guy with 2 first names, yeah, I think people are getting pretty fed up with the government trying to tell us what to do. I think people are getting pretty fed up with the data centers, That is all.